Good Lord.
Shalom, this is Sister Wenda. I hope that all of you are enjoying the broadcast that you're listening to right now. We appreciate each and every last one of you, our faithful listeners and supporters of the Straightway Truth radio broadcast. We try to make sure that we do our due diligence and do our best to ensure that you have the best broadcast as well as the truth coming to you in the hour that we're living in right now. If you would like to help us in this endeavor, your offering will be greatly appreciated in the work of the ministry of the Most High Yah. Our mailing address for your gift, offering, or letter of support is Charles Dowell Jr. That's Charles Dowell Jr. And Dowell is spelled D-O-W-E-L-L. 506 Ellington Drive. Ellington is spelled E-L-L-I-N-G-T-O-N. P.O. Box 32, Lafayette, Tennessee. And Lafayette is spelled L-A-F-A-Y-E-T-T-E 37083. Again, our mailing address is Charles Dowell Jr., 506 Ellington Drive, P.O. Box 32, Lafayette, Tennessee, 37083. If you would like to contact us by way of phone, the country code is 1, area code 615-688-3025. That's 1-615-688-3025. You may leave a message there, and, be the Father's will, we will do whatever we can to try to return your message. It is our hope and our prayer that as you continue to listen to the Straightway Truth Ministry, and as you apply the teachings of this ministry, that you are finding peace and growth within you, your family, and life as well. Please tell others so that the truth may also have an impact and touch others' lives, so that they may enjoy the benefits of the truth of Jesus Christ, just like we all are. Shalom, the King is coming.
Shalom, the King is coming. Hey, blessings to each and every last one of you. It ain't just, it's not quite Shabbat Shalom just yet, but anyway, welcome. Blessings to each and every last one of you. Glad that you're here. I'm in the office here with myself, Teacher Shane, and of course, I know that many of you somewhat disappointed because last Sabbath we got hit by a tornado. And of course, everybody was anticipating the teaching that we were going to do on self-preservation, defending yourself. And what does the Bible have to say about swords, guns, arming yourself, etc. I go all the way down the line. Unintentional deaths, unintentional killings, murder, self-defense, self-preservation, situation awareness, OPSET security. I ain't go on and on and on with the synonyms. But the bottom line is, what does the Bible say about you being able to defend yourself from someone who is intending to do you harm and to be evil? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Be the Father's will. So hey, it was way out of our hands. We couldn't do nothing about it, couldn't we?
No.
It wasn't even predicted. There was nothing in the forecast at all. Nothing. That tornado just come up out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
Uprooted all kind of trees everywhere. And as a matter of fact, I think it went through quite a few states too as well.
Yes, sir.
I looked at portions of that satanically inclined and provocative Democratic debate.
Oh, mercy.
It was the worst I had ever seen in my life. Good mercy. Man. And these are the people that are so-called leaders of this free world. We in trouble, boy. God of mercy. We're in trouble.
Yes.
We can't do no better than AOC, Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren. You got to be shitting me. Joe Biden. You know what? I'm gonna do a video. President Trump is the front runner for the Democratic Party. Everybody said, Pastor Dowell, that don't make no sense. I know. I'm telling you, for to win the election again.
Yeah.
He's a Republican, but he's a front runner. The way them boogers are good. Did y'all hear them trying to define morality? Oh, mercy me, man. I can't believe it. And then first time in the history of debate I've ever seen this. They ask a question. One person gets up there and speaks in Spanish, answering the question. Trying to court the Hispanic vote. Then he answers in English. Then the Cory Booker ended up getting mad. I think he was upset because the other guy spoke Spanish before he did. So he answered in Spanish. Then he went in English. And the only Hispanic candidate up there didn't even speak in Spanish. God said, man, and I noticed. Have y'all noticed they all adopt a hands-off attitude on Elizabeth Warren? None of them went after Elizabeth Warren. And that crackpot. She looked like an opioid crisis. she in herself, just by herself, she looked like opioid. That woman's so damn ugly, man, she can stop a clock. Good God. I was like, you gotta be kidding. These are the best we can do in the leaders of the free world. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about and the Sabbath service. What does the Bible say about swords, arming yourself, defense, self-defense, self-preservation? We're going to go in all of it. Cities of refuge, intentional killing, unintentional killing. I think I've already been through this. I've already been through this.
A little bit.
I think I'm talking about early on in the beginning of this broadcast. I think I've already said all this.
Yes,
But anyway, we're going to go all there. We're going to let the Bible speak. What we're going to do is get rid of traditional lies.
Hallelujah.
We're going to get rid of the way that our European counterparts have taught us and conditioned us to think. Because, see, we're all Israelites. We're going to think the way that the book says. That's what we're going to do as being born again. I value y'all's opinion over man's any day. What do you think?
Yes, it's definitely.
And I think y'all got it right.
It's solid.
Yeah. I think he got it. I know he got it right. So what we're going to do is go against wind and tide. We're going to tap traditional lies. We're going to tap everything there is to know and believe, or that the world is trying to talk you to believe. It's all coming down tomorrow. It's all coming down, because Christians would actually have you to think that you should have a pacifist attitude, even to the point that you shouldn't even own a sword or firearm, even to the point you shouldn't even defend yourself. What does Yah say? Who's right? I'm going to tell you who's right. Yah is. And I'm going to tell you who's wrong. Man is. And, man, we're going to hear so much. And there's a time that Yah even commands you to repent if you don't defend and go to war. And then he says if you don't do it, then your sin, he calls it sin when you don't defend, will find you out. It's going to be something else. Tonight, on tonight's broadcast, I've got Brother Leon and Brother Luke. Some time ago, I signed up for doTERRA, oils. We all know, especially after this past winter, we went through some viral crap that was going on, just unbelievable. Every time you turn around, something bad is happening concerning health. And it ain't because we've changed anything. And imagine if it's hitting us like this and we live set apart. You can only imagine what it's doing to people out there in that world. And so, years and years and years ago, we set ourselves apart. And in doing that, we had no choice but to learn about natural herbs. Well, now we're going to another level, next step, because all throughout the Bible, you can see where they use oils. They use oils for healing. Use oils for, just the natural stuff of this earth. And then there's stuff that we automatically know about. But what is the quality of that oil? Who's making the oil? And how can these oils help? It seems like it can't be true. You just take some oil, you put it on you, and then all of a sudden you get delivered. Well, anyway, Brother Luke and Brother Leon is our special guest here tonight. And I talked to them this about Passover. I'm just now getting all this. Because I literally been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. You see my calendar up there, brother?
Yeah, it's loaded.
Literally been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And so what Brother Leon and Brother Luke is going to talk about. See, I'm already in Brother Luke's downline. And I need at least 3 people. I know that Brother Vincent in Texas is interested. And I know that Brother Galen in Texas is interested in being in line. I need anywhere between 3 to 10 people who can commit $100 a month to oils. And I'm telling you, I got plenty sitting up here in this thing right here. And it's time for me to go ahead and get my automatic renewal back on again, because I'm running low. I'm running low on these oils, essential oils. They are very, very, very powerful. And not only that, like this person right here says, CBD oil, man, that's really popular today. Yes. Really popular today. The CBD oil without the THC. And that's been known to even reverse autism. That's pretty damn powerful.
Very powerful.
That is pretty. Y'all hear what I said? CBD oil, listen to me, has been known to reverse autism. So if you got, and let me tell you what these oils do. They're very effective at removing these metals that's in our body by ways of vaccinations and stuff. I need it. I personally need it because being in the military and all the stuff they shot my rear end up with, boy, you need it too, Gideon. Boy, they loaded us up. Loaded us up. And Yah has put the natural stuff on this earth, the herb of the field for the service of man.
Yes.
And he's giving people wisdom to know how to use these oils and to, hey, all y'all got to do is listen to what Luke says, listen to what Brother Leon says, listen to what they say, because you want to get in this. We already in it. But not only that, it's actually something that can even help the ministry out as well. They are going to be the ones that's going to come in here and talk to us about all this. I'm going to give them the floor. I'm going to ask a few questions. We are broadcasting live by way of YouTube tonight. So we're on 2 or 3 platforms, right?
Yeah, YouTube and Straight Live. Yeah.
Straightway Live.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube and Straightway Live. So we're on 2 or 3 platforms.
Online.
Yeah, oregano oil. Oregano oil is just unbelievable. Man, you got all kind of places. But you know what? There is an essential oil, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure Brother Leon can find out, that's even more effective than CBD oil. And matter of fact, I read about it the other day. In glancing, I did. So, but I've literally got the experts on here that's coming on here tonight. So if you want to get in Pastor Dowell's downline, this doTERRA, you want to benefit from these oils and then help other people to benefit from these oils, hey, it's totally up to you. Totally up to you. But because I am such a hectically busy pastor, Brother Luke and Brother Leon is going to assist me in taking care of all the stuff behind the scenes for us because they want to contribute to the ministry as well. They love the ministry. It was a joy seeing both of them. And if Brother Leon, if you can make it here for Tabernacles, man. Last year Tabernacles, we had 500 some people here?
Yes.
If you can make it here at Tabernacles, man, we're going to set aside pretty much half of a day for you to sit here and because he did a good job the last time when we did Gathering of the Saints. Mm-hmm. And he was here and he did that. He did a dang good job explaining this, man. I'm telling you. And I've got people in my own family that's interested in this, and they're going to get in on it. They're going to get in on it, and we're going to get this ball rolling. That's what we're going to do. And Brother Leon and them was telling me during Passover about the oils that him and Luke was taking. Luke was telling me the oils they were taking to combat some of these airborne viruses. And how that people all around them got them, and they didn't get anything. They didn't get nothing because of the oils. So they know what they're talking about. I'm following their lead. I'm going to do what they said. That's what we're going to do. Somebody said I'm already signed up for doTERRA. How can I help the ministry? Well, I tell you what, we're going to let Brother Luke and we're going to let Brother Leon answer that question. Other than that, a week after next, Hebrew Conference. Now, I'm taking off here on the 10th. And we're going to be at Brother Juan's house up there in Detroit. He's going to host me and my security team. Oh, yeah. These guys know what they're talking about. And my family, talking about straightway, all of us, we going to get heavy into it. We're going to get heavy into it because I'm tired of all this mess be going on. You got no answers for. Huh? I'm serious. So we got to do everything, including praying, fasting, all of it. All right? Again, tomorrow, we're going to talk about gun control. We're going to talk about swords. We're going to talk about self-defense in the Shabbat service tomorrow. All right? Shabbat service tomorrow. You can catch it on www.online. That's online-church.org. You can catch it at Facebook. Just go to Facebook, Pastor Dowell. Type it in. Service be there live. You can catch you on Straightway Live.
Straightway Live, online, that's church stuff.
Yeah.
RG,
So if you really truly want to see the ministry, you can see it. You don't have no excuse. You can see it. Yeah. Black walnut oil. Yeah, it does. As a matter of fact, we know that black seed, not black walnut tincture. Black walnut tincture kills parasites in the body. And I mean, we got the experts on here tonight. All right. We have the experts on here tonight. And they are going to be the ones to speak to us. Brother Luke and Brother Leon is going to lay it all out for us. So get your pencil, get your piece of paper. They're going to tell you how to go about this, how to go about doing it, how to sign up for it if you want it. I'm telling you, don't trust in all these meds out here. I'm telling you, they're setting you up for failure. So we're going to talk about this and more after this break. We're going to let Sister Wenda up in Canada give you a break on how to support the ministry. Also, if you go to my YouTube page, would y'all please let the ads play so we can make some money and help pay some bills, because somebody up there on YouTube is mad at me, man. I think I got somebody from the LGBTQUEFG and HIJKLMNOP movement is highly, highly mad at me. Because, man, they troll my channel. Almost, I can put up a video and put down "good day" in the title, and they'll say not perfect for monetizing, not suitable for monetizing. Then we got going and having to look at it.
That's discrimination.
It takes all the way up to sometime a week or two before they even, your video's been approved. By that time, 5,000 people already looked at it.
We quit discriminating. Can't be doing that.
So, Brother Luke and Brother Leon is going to be up next on the Straightway Truth Radio broadcast. Let's go over here to Sister Wenda as she give a mailing address how if you want to support this man of Yah. She's going to tell you how to do that and more. Glory to the King. Glory to the King.
Shalom, this is Sister Wenda. I hope that all of you are enjoying the broadcast that you're listening to right now. We appreciate each and every last one of you, our faithful listeners and supporters of the Straightway Truth radio broadcast. We try to make sure that we do our due diligence and do our best to ensure that you have the best broadcast as well as the truth coming to you in the hour that we're living in right now. If you would like to help us in this endeavor, your offering will be greatly appreciated in the work of the ministry of the Most High Yah. Our mailing address for your gift, offering, or letter of support is Charles Dowell Jr. That's Charles Dowell Jr. And Dowell is spelled D-O-W-E-L-L. 506 Ellington Drive. Ellington is spelled E-L-L-I-N-G-T-O-N. P.O. Box 32, Lafayette, Tennessee. And Lafayette is spelled L-A-F-A-Y-E-T-T-E 37083. Again, our mailing address is Charles Dowell Jr., 506 Ellington Drive, P.O. Box 32, Lafayette, Tennessee, 37083. If you would like to contact us by way of phone, the country code is 1, area code 615-688-3025. That's 1-615-688-3025. You may leave a message there, and, be the Father's will, we will do whatever we can to try to return your message. It is our hope and our prayer that as you continue to listen to the Straightway Truth Ministry, and as you apply the teachings of this ministry, that you are finding peace and growth within you, your family, and life as well. Please tell others so that the truth may also have an impact and touch others' lives, so that they may enjoy the benefits of the truth of Jesus Christ, just like we all are. Shalom, the King is coming.
Shalom, shalom, the King is coming. Hey, I've got some CBD oil around here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I got some somewhere around here. But anyway, No, it does not have the THC in it. It doesn't. So, glory to the King. Where we at right there. And where we at right here.
Are we on? You hear me?
All right. All right. Brothers and sisters, we're going to go ahead and pull up Brother Luke. And we're going to pull up Brother Leon. We're going to welcome him to the broadcast here tonight. Brother Luke, Brother Leon, are y'all there? Can you give us a radio check?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Brother Luke, can you give us a radio check? Are you there? Are you coming through? Can you hear us?
Yes. Yes, sir. I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
All right, Brother Leon, you're doing good. Okay, everybody's in the queue. Here we are. All right. Now, we're talking to the experts here who have been in doTERRA for a little while, and we'll let Brother Leon start off first, and then we'll let them kind of trade off on giving us information. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, Brother Leon, how long you've been doing this doTERRA thing, and then Luke, we want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it.
Yes, sir. My name is Leon Green. I live in Denver, Colorado, and I've been doing doTERRA for the last 9 years. The company's 10 and a half years old, and it went from being completely unknown to now we're having 8 million people in 147 countries worldwide. So doTERRA has exploded because of the potency and the purity. And you can find cheap essential oils at Wally World, but that is pretty much synthetic, and all it is gasoline with a pretty smell. So it doesn't have any medicinal benefits. So many times people will say, well, I can just get it cheaper. Well, do you want to put the cheapest stuff in your body, or do you want to put the things that will actually benefit you? And so when you were talking about the oils in the Bible, yeah, Genesis 1:29, well, I give you all seed-bearing plants for your benefit. So yes, God's given us the solutions for the last 6,000 years. And through the corruption of greed and avarice, what's happened is man has now made synthetic versions because they can't use the original plant, like lavender, and call it, and name it their own company. So they cannot patent a natural product. And that's why the oils are so powerful, is because they don't have side effects and they don't have a shelf life. And you can't become tolerant to it, like drugs, and you can't overdose on them because they're natural, just like God.
Well, hallelujah, Brother Luke.
Absolutely. Yes, Pastor. First off, it's an absolute blessing to talk to you on Blog Talk. Wanted to call in a couple times, but don't want to just call in to say hi. But it's an absolute blessing to be on here and to share a little bit about the oils. I would say that the oils, to me, are a very beneficial tool to fit in my arsenal that protects my family. Helps me to be not reliant upon the system. It helps me to be self-reliant. It helps me to do a lot of things. I wanted to talk also about how the oils that we were using there at the feast that are protective, including that kill viruses here in just a bit. But oils are like having my own pharmacy that I can use with knowledge and a lot of power. And if the person's willing to educate themselves, they can use the oils to prevent many problems and solve a lot of problems, and be a really a big blessing in their home like it is in mine, as well as bless the ministry. I want to touch on a couple of those points that you'd already brought up as well.
Oh, well, hallelujah. All right, so everybody out there, y'all make sure y'all get your pen, get your sheet of paper. They're going to give out some information and stuff. And the way you spell doTERRA is capital D, and it looks like it's a small O. If you want to be correct on it, if you wanted to, and make sure you don't mess up, you can capitalize and put T-E-R-R-A. T-E-R-R-A. So here we go. All right, so we give you the floor. Which one of you want to go ahead and start off this presentation here tonight and giving them an idea of what you're talking about? Far as the oils go, how someone can get started, how they can be a blessing to the ministry, and also we're going to get into the benefits of the oil. We can go it any way you want to. So,
yes, sir.
Who's first?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start off. I'm going to tell you from a very skeptical perspective as far as what I first thought about the oils, and as Leon showed me some of what they could do, and kind of what happened with me, I would consider myself a fairly healthy individual, but I use the oils all the time. And just before I even get into that, I remember very first talking to you, Pastor, being very cautious, not wanting to convey the wrong thing, just as this is about a business or money-making opportunity. The value and the benefit to Israel is huge, and I want to talk about that first. The average person going to the feast may not be sick, but by the time you get around 500 or 600 people all in that close proximity and all touching the same door handle, even if it's cleaned and there's sanitary measures taken, all it takes is one kiddo, one child bringing a virus or something like that, unsanitary on that door handle, and it could spread like wildfire.
That's right.
So I'm going to be real specific. When I went to the feast, I was using the doTERRA proprietary On Guard blend. And what that is several oils that doTERRA has found that work really well together, and I'll tell you what's in that in just a second. But the proprietary of oils I was using, I put that on several times a day. And the reason I put it on several times a day, you just put a drip on your hand or a drip on your foot, or you can put this oil in a capsule and swallow it. It's going to do about the same thing. There's several different ways that you can take it, and these oils, unlike some others, are safe to take internally. But this specific blend contains cinnamon, and if you go to PubMed.com, which is published medical document, you can verify and see all kinds of medical studies that there is no virus that they tested here. There's a list of viruses, and Leon knows what those are. He could tell us better. It's really interesting that no virus can stand in the presence of cinnamon, and it will kill what's on my body before I go to the feast if I'm getting a virus or something like this. It'll also kill whatever maybe I'd be picking up on that doorknob, and the oils will go through my entire body in a matter of minutes and into every cell of my body. Leon, can you fill in a couple of those facts on the different viruses that were tested and some of those tests against cinnamon, and then how long it takes for the oil to go through your body?
Yes, when you put cinnamon either sublingually, which is the fastest way to get anything into your body other than an intravenous injection, those oils can be absorbed within 30 seconds, and the oils that he's referring to are like the common flu, but we're also talking about other viruses as well. So swine flu, there's the whole gamut of viruses. The way the viruses multiply in humans or in animals in general is they trick the receptors on the cells to open up the gate that allow the viruses to come in. Then they hijack the nucleus, and they produce anywhere between 10 and 40,000 of the viruses. Then they naturally explode, and that cell now becomes a conduit for the whole body. So that's how you can get sick in a matter of hours, or if you're thinking about the Spanish flu of 1918, 20 to 60 million people died worldwide because of a flu that originated here in America and was taken abroad. And they blamed it on the Spanish because that's where the majority of the issues occurred. But the viruses can severely be impacted by cinnamon oil along with oregano. And when you were talking about black walnut, that is phenomenal for parasites, just like oregano is. And 90% of Americans have parasites, and most of those are at the microscopic level. But we already know about pork and its trichinosis and how bad that is. And so even those worms and the larvae and the full tapeworm and all the parasites can be purged from your body just by taking oregano. And so oregano is very effective. And each year we add 10 to 15 oils to the total inventory. And many people say, why don't you have this and why don't we have that? It's because we only look for the highest quality and the highest quality species. So lavender is a good example. You can grow lavender in your backyard, but unless you have that specific species, it may not be the best medicinally for sedation, for relaxing, for tissue regrowth, for burns. So the specific the specific species we use comes from Bulgaria and the south of France, and that has the highest medicinal grade of any lavender in the entire world. And so it's crucial where you get your oils because not all of them are the same. And doTERRA's oils are certified pure therapeutic grade. That means you can eat them, you can drink them, you can put them on your skin, and you can breathe them. Whereas many of them, I just saw one at Wally World the other day. It said, do not place on skin and do not take internally. And I called the company and asked, why is that the case? And they said, because we don't know what's in there, and we don't want a class action suit. And doTERRA is the only company in the entire world that tests every batch and every liter of oils 15 different ways. So mass spectrometry, gas chromatograph, and then they check for metal content and microbes and chirality. And so 90% of all of the oils in the world are synthetic. And so it's crucial where you get your oils. And like when you said, Pastor Dowell, about being in the military like I was too, how many times we were poked in all the metals. And so cilantro oil is highly effective as for heavy metal chelation. That means it extracts those metals from your body. And maybe we'll get a chance in the future to talk about removing mercury fillings from your skull by getting it removed properly. And so use cilantro and spirulina and chlorella, and those three together will extract mercury in your cells, and when they remove it from your teeth, it prevents you from having overdose of mercury poisoning, which has been very toxic to the dentists and the dental techs, along with the patients. And I just want to correct one other thing. And one thing I would just want to correct on what you said, Luke. It's actually PubMed.gov, G-O-V. It's a governmental clearinghouse that has there's like 46 million different studies around the world on everything, all different types of modalities of treatment. But there's over 40,000 essential oil studies on that. So if you talk to any doctor, they'll say, yes, I go to PubMed.gov every day for questions about different ailments. And so doTERRA has several studies that are on PubMed that you can access and learn about the same thing that your doctor would be able to do too. So I'll let you continue, Luke.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to throw it back to you in a second here, but because you know the details of some of these. See, I know the overall picture, but if you want to know some details, you can ask Leon. And obviously, he studied this to a fine degree, and he can get some details. But there was a hospital, I believe it was here out in Colorado, that was basically known as the MRSA capital of the world. And what I mean by that is this MRSA virus, which is so nasty, it's known as the flesh-eating virus. People would go in, let's say they got a broken arm, but they had to stay there for a while, and this stuff is being pumped through. The virus is all over this hospital like wildfire, and people are literally getting this virus that's going into the hospital with some other minor problem, and it would even kill them. And I believe that there was even a nurse that died from it. But the bottom line is this. I know the overall story. doTERRA's On Guard that I was talking about that I use when I come to the feast, and a lot of times I go into a client's home, or I'm meeting a lot of people, or I'm just out in public, and I'll just put this right on my hand. A drop of this oil is only a couple of cents, and that bottle, if I use it really aggressively, it may still last me for 2 months. So it's very inexpensive per dose to protect myself from this stuff. But anyway, they ended up using this oil On Guard because they had no other alternative. They were bleaching the walls. They had all kinds of stuff going on, and there's no answer that the medical community has for this stuff. And when they have it in these hospitals, it'll just go like wildfire. But what they did is they put the doTERRA oils in a diffuser to blow this submicroparticles all through the air, and you breathe it in. It's one of the ways you can intake the oils is through a diffuser, which actually you bring it right into your lungs, and your lungs are going to, of course, put that directly into your bloodstream. It's a great way to intake the oils. But Leon, throw some more details to that story about what happened there, and then the result afterward, as far as their number dropped significantly from this horrible virus.
Correct. This was about 8 years ago. The Delta Hospital in the city of Delta. It was a general hospital, and they had the worst cases of MRSA. And MRSA is a superbug. It stands for methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and that's actually a bacteria. It's not a virus. It's a superbug, and they don't have very effective antibiotics to kill it. And so we still have over 35,000 people dying in America from MRSA. Even though we have the best trauma medicine in the world, people would still die from it. More people die from MRSA annually than they die from AIDS and HIV. So this superbug was so bad that they contacted doTERRA and said, look, we are at the end of our rope. We have nothing left to do. We've tried vancomycin, everything else to kill it. We're still losing staff and patients. And I had a woman who came to me from that hospital, and the doctor said, yes, you got it here. It's called hospital-acquired MRSA as compared to community-acquired, and that's where you get it at the church as compared to going to a hospital. It's already it's in the building, it's in the air, and that's where it is transmitted to the next host. So Dr. Hill said, this is what you do. And he gave them the protocol, and within 2 weeks, they had gone from the worst in America to completely eliminating MRSA. So now if it arrives there, it's because the people, the new patients, they bring it in from home or different cities. So On Guard can be used as a prophylactic so you don't get sick. So your children don't get sick, and therefore you can stay at work, they can stay at school, and you don't have to miss out on work and eat up sick pay and sick time on something that's needless. So if you take the oils daily as a prophylactic or as a prevention, then you stay healthy. If you don't do it and you get sick, you can still take the oils after the fact and eliminate it. You've heard that statement is a pound. I'm sorry, like the pound of
ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Is worth a pound of yes, exactly. That's it. So I take the oil. I take those 4 oils every day: lemon, On Guard, frankincense oil, and balance. And you take those for both immunity. That's where the On Guard comes in. It has 5 oils. It's based on the thieves oil from the Middle Ages. And if you remember seeing the pictures of the people that look like penguins, they had the long pointed nose, they would actually breathe in these 5 oils. It'd be cinnamon, clove, lemon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And because Dr. Hill originated the first one, was called thieves oil from another company, and they could not take that same recipe to doTERRA. So they changed it to wild orange instead of lemon, and wild orange has a higher antiviral count than lemon does. So that's why those 5 oils again. So cinnamon, this is phenomenal for viruses. And then clove is great for bacteria. And all of the citrus oils are great for viruses. And rosemary and eucalyptus. And those 2 are great for viral, and rosemary is great for bacteria. And so those 5 oils are so effective that when I fly, whenever we travel in large groups, if you commute to work, you're exposed to thousands of people and everything they do. And so a bug can travel anywhere on the planet within 24 to 48 hours because of how efficient aviation is. So you leave LAX, you fly to Atlanta, and you've connected now with everybody from the Far East, and they fly to Atlanta, and then now they have all the bugs from Europe and South America. And so, yes, that's how swine flu and avian flu can come and attack a continent, and you lose 2 million people in a matter of months because of how effective the transportation system is. And in America, we don't do quarantine like we used to do during the early 1900s. And that was in the Bible. You keep people away from your group for X amount of time, and quarantine meant 40, so 40 days away from your new community, so you're not infecting everybody, and they stopped that. So now that's why we have these bugs that come through, and they ravage communities nationwide and worldwide. So that's why it's crucial that you use the oils daily to protect yourself and your family.
Brother Leon, I would like to ask you to repeat again those 5 oils. Could you please repeat again those 5 oils?
Yes,
and it's what's built up in the doTERRA On Guard blend.
Yes, and those are cinnamon, clove, wild orange, eucalyptus, and rosemary.
And then you said that you take lemon, On Guard, frankincense, and 1 more every day.
Yes, The other one is called Balance. It's a proprietary blend as well, and that one is great for mood enhancement. If you're high-strung, if you're anxious for whatever reason, or if you're depressed, Balance is highly effective for emotional support. So lemon is great for detoxifying. Frankincense is phenomenal for being anti-inflammatory. So people who have arthritis and other inflammatory issues, frankincense is great for that. And there was a reason why they gave it to baby Jesus. Oh, actually, he wasn't actually a baby, but sub 3 years old. They gave it to him because of the value was for medicinal. It was more valuable than gold was, because you could have all the money in the world, but if you're dying from an infection, it's pretty much worthless to have all the money if you can't be healthy. So that's why the oils are crucial, because it allows you to stay healthy now while everything is perfect, as well as if it becomes like Venezuela or other countries are imploding, and now you have these infections and poor hygiene, and we can get into EMP and how the U.S. Congress said yes, 90% of Americans would die within the first year if an EMP occurred, because we don't have the gardens, we don't have the sanitation, we don't have the know-how to exist without the entire power grid being up. And that study is available online for free. It's called the EMP Commission, and it was done by Dr. Vincent Pry. And he elaborated on how important it is to have sanitation. And that's how, if you have these oils now, you can build your immune system and your family's immune system. And like what we talked about earlier, if you have a desire to not only bless the community as well, but you can also bless yourself, your family as well. It's been a huge blessing in both mine and Luke's families, because we've had the autonomy and freedom to do what we'd like to do and to be able to contribute much more than we were ever able to do as somebody outside of doTERRA. So there's so many blessings attached to doTERRA.
That's right.
All right, brother Luke.
I think of, yes, sir. I was just going to add to that what he just said. I think that from my occupation and what I could potentially, or anybody really, give to the ministry, I think that the way that this business is set up could very likely give a lot more to the ministry and be a lot more benefit, especially for those of us that are wanting to actually share these oils. And that's really all I've done. And I wanted to kind of start from where I started and what my first thoughts were about the oils initially, and some of the things that I found out. But the benefit of this business, from a business standpoint, is that it is not just something that can be good for the ministry. It's not just something that, as Leon's talking about, could potentially save your life. But it's something that is great to share with other people. A lot of times when people will talk to you, they'll say, well, my back's sore, or this is a problem. And I'll get to, there's definitely a place where you need a pastor, you don't need an essential oil. I'll get to that in a minute, but let me just start off with this. When I first heard about the oils, like I said, I didn't see any value. I didn't understand what they were. I just didn't know what an essential oil really was. It's just an extract from a plant, a highly concentrated extract from a plant. They're numerous times more powerful than herbs. But I thought it had a low value. I thought it was like stinky stuff for old women and like for stinky candles that give you a headache. You know what I mean? Just I didn't think that it had any value. And so one time, Leon had explained some of the value of these to me. And I don't know if I'd eaten something, but every once in a while, every 6 months or something, you might get just a bad stomachache. And I'm telling you, I was just bent over. And I called him and I said, hey, isn't there like some digestive blend or something that I could use? And of course he said, yeah, it's in your tray right there. I know you have some. And I want you to take that digestive blend and put it on your finger and stick it in your belly button. So for somebody that was skeptical in the first place, I thought that sounded just dumb as a box of rocks. But I did it. And I'm telling you, in about 10 minutes, I felt tremendously better. And I thought it was crazy until I really thought about it. Well, that's where your umbilical cord was, and that's where basically all nutrients came in from your mother when you were an infant, right? Mm-hmm. So the digestive blend And you could go into every single one of these oils and talk about numerous little constituents and what they can do, but I'll just leave it at that. It really blew my mind. I could not believe that something could turn me around. I thought I wasn't going to, get out alive type of a deal. And here just 10 minutes later, I felt 98% better. It was just remarkable how much the blend of oils that are in that digestive blend. It has ginger in it. I believe it has peppermint. There's several different things there. But I've seen other things like that, just exactly like that were very powerful. I've been bit by a dog in my business. I've had my little girl, when she was learning to walk, she fell over and had this huge black mark on her head from just getting a big old bump, starting to stick out of her head like on a cartoon almost. And putting the lavender and an oil called helichrysum right on that bump, all of a sudden it just goes away. And I'm telling you, I would not have believed it if I hadn't experienced some of these things. And, back to the thing about a wound, it's my understanding that a lot of the military forces that came out of Australia, they all carried tea tree oil or melaleuca. And where a lot of people in World War II were getting different infections, that's just something that that was part of their culture, that they had tea tree oil. And their rate of getting foot rot and all kinds of other things with these minor wounds that we get, you know how it is. If you do real work, like I know you do, Pastor, you're going to cut your hand. You're going to get, something like this happen. And if you don't take care of that wound, especially like was in the case of in war, you could get something infected and it can kill you. It can turn septic very quickly. And you do hear of people that will have an infection in their leg, an infection in their foot, different blood infections and all this stuff. And that melaleuca, very simple oil, realize that I can basically have my own pharmacy, if you will, my own ability to use different oils for different things, and I'm going to make it really complicated and really simple. You can be as detailed and have the level of knowledge that Brother Leon has, and you can learn to a really deep depth. And there's a lot of information on every single oil, and like if you have a scientific mind, like I know some of the brothers do, and you really want to delve into it, you can learn what some of these compounds do. That's just not who I am. I'm just a little bit more simple than that. So what I do, and I'm going to give you the reference if some of you have pen and paper, you can go to a couple places. You can definitely go to Amazon, and you can also go to aromatools.com, and you can get a book. And this book reference, it's called Modern Essentials, and we'll talk about two different ones. There's an older one which you pretty much can't get anymore, and it refers to protocols for things. I'm going to kind of bunny trail for a second here. The FDA does not allow you to use the words treat or cure. We don't treat or cure anything, okay? So none of this stuff that we're talking about, it doesn't treat or cure anything. However, I'm going to give you my personal opinion. It sure seems like, for me, it's treated and cured a whole lot of stuff. So that's probably not kosher by the FDA. But anyway, the fifth generation of Modern Essentials did have some protocols that you're not allowed to basically propagate the idea that it treats or cures anything, if that makes sense. The newer ones, Modern Essentials, I think it goes up to the 10th edition right now, they have a little bit more of some of the newer oils that are out, as Leon was saying. The oils...
So which one is the better one, the 5th edition or the 10th edition?
Personally, I would probably recommend, and Leon can give his opinion on this, if you're going to get one book, get the 10th edition. If you really want to study it and get some more information or multiple references on it, you may want to get the 5th edition if you can actually find it. But I know that that's probably going to end up being like a collector's edition at some point and harder to get because they're basically not allowed to print that information anymore. What would you say, Leon? Leon?
Yes, I would say that if you got the 5th edition, it took into account the vast majority of the oils that we had at the time. So we had 75 plus oils then. Now we're over 100. And with that, those oils, they had even the word cancer in there, and all the oils that were effective for different cancers. So that one it's really easy to use. It talks about the history of oils. It goes all the way back to the biblical times and the Chinese use of oils. And then it talks about the single oils, then the blends, and then it brings up specific diseases and how you can, if you say the specific disease, and it will tell you the oils to use and how to apply it. And then the very end, the fifth part, talks about the references. So you can actually see the science and how these tests had come about. And so if you could only get one book, I'd say get the fifth book. And as long as you know what the symptom is, you will be able to find the appropriate oil. So the major ones were in the 5th edition. The new ones we've added, like copaiba, turmeric, and petitgrain. Those have been added recently, and so you can still have access on the web to be able to find that information from doTERRA. But the 5th edition is one that was not kosher because it would say diabetes, and then it would have cinnamon, geranium, and how to do that. And cinnamon is now being used by the chemical companies because it will stabilize blood sugar, and it's so highly effective that the chemical companies are saying, "Hey, if we can make $1 billion on it, and we only lose 3% of people due to side effects from their chemical knockoffs as compared to the real McCoy, then it's worth it, and we can make $1 billion off it." So doTERRA has the mentality of, hey, we get the purest oils, we distill it, and the way the oils are distilled, there's 3 main ways. It's steam distillation, and that's when you think about like putting peppermint in a press, you use superheated water vapor and pressure, and then you extract those natural volatile oils from the leaves. That's the only place that those sacs are on, is the oils are in the sacs, and they protect them from viruses and potential predators. And that's why the oils are made, is because the plants can't move around. So what they have to do is use natural chemical warfare to protect itself from like mold and mildew. And when you were talking about melaleuca or tea tree oil, melaleuca grows naturally in Australia and is highly effective for being antiviral. And if you have any skin issues, melaleuca they consider it first aid for the skin. So if it's a rash, or you have Candida albicans, which is a natural occurring fungus, all the way up to black mold, which you saw at the Katrina event, where houses were completely eliminated because of black mold. So, and black mold is one of the most toxic molds in the world. So something as simple as tea tree oil is highly effective in negating the problems attached to mold and mildew. And so there's so many oils, but if you were only able to get one book, I would get the 5th edition now. You'll always be able to get the 10th edition, but the 5th edition is harder to come by, and it's still only about $24 on Amazon, but they can't produce it anymore because the FDA says, hey, the only people that can say, can give the literature and the drug is the drug companies, and they pay us so much money, so we're going to give them that buy. But the FDA doesn't like doTERRA for the fact that, we have impacted the entire medical industry because $8 billion has been sucked away from the side effect and the short expiration time pertaining to the drugs. And do I think we have the best pharmaceutical in the world? Not necessarily, but we do have the best trauma. If I had a car accident today, they can go back and reattach my arm. But there is no money in it for the medical industry in prevention, because if you're healthy as a horse, they get zero money. If you're dead, they get zero money. But if you're sick somewhere in between, it's a $2 trillion industry.
Yes, sir.
So that's why our attitude is, that's it. And that's why if you're healthy and you're able to bless others, you are a benefit. But if you're sick, then you ask everybody, hey, can you pray for me? Pray for me. And you're right, there's power in prayer. But if you don't have to get sick in the first place, then you can bless others. You can go on missions. You can make a difference in the world. You can spread the gospel. And that's what our goals are.
Well, that, Brother Leon, that actually goes directly into something I was going to say. I was just going to go over, there's no way we could cover, and I want to talk also about maybe doing some videos in the future for Pastor, you and me or whatever, on Patreon, that we can benefit the ministry that way, where we can ask questions, we can talk about some of the experiences and talk more in depth about some of the specific oils and some of the reasons that we have the oils, which I do want to touch on. But I just wanted to give an example here real quick. I was saying that I didn't see how a little bottle of oil or a drop of oil was going to affect a lot of these different things that we're bringing up. And I'll bring up a pretty unusual thing that most people might not think would be affected by a bottle of oil. But the more I've looked into it, and I've taken some classes, I even went to a class on autoimmune diseases, and it was amazing to me to see some of these people are 20s and 30s, and they have 20 and 30 prescription drugs. They say half or more of these drugs are to counteract the bad effects of these other drugs. In other words, they'd have 5 or 6 things that they're attacking the actual problem, and then the rest of them are all so that they can go to sleep because they're so jacked up on this stuff. It's just ridiculous how much of this stuff in these autoimmune diseases were. But I didn't intend to go to that class. I was just going to a class that happened to be about autoimmune diseases. But it opened my eyes to how much these oils can really do, and in things like, and I'll just bring this up here, like depression. Now, there's a fine line here, because I believe, knowing what I know now, you need to go and talk to your pastor if you have depression issues, because there is a spiritual link to that. However, you look at the psychologists and all this kind of stuff, they're going to use drugs in those situations, and with the oils, there is a benefit. You're going to see people's mood can be altered. You can see that. And these are in a good way. If you go and you take one of the doTERRA oils, and I'll tell you my couple favorites here, Citrus Bliss, and you smell that, it's just great. And I think doTERRA has an oil now that's called Joy. You smell that, and there's a reason that they named it that. But it can have an uplifting effect. And if you look at, there's on Brother Leon and mine email at the signature, there is a video about Vanderbilt University did a study, and they put these oils and diffusers just through the hospital for mood, and they said that it was a significant increase overall in mood, because what else is going on in hospitals? People are dying, there's all kinds of stuff going on that's not so great, but it can affect your mood. But I'm just going to run through a list of a few more things that are common. But I guess I kind of wanted to ask you what your thoughts on there. I believe if a person says, I've got depression, that's not really an oil issue. That's an issue where they need a pastor. What do you say about that, Pastor?
Well, put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. And there are plenty of natural things here on this earth that would definitely assist us and help us. And I believe the reason why we're sick more than anything in the day and time and hour that we're living in now is simply because our nutrition, the nutrition of the food, the value of it is just simply depleted. It's just not there anymore. With all the chemical infestation, with all the spraying of herbicides, pesticides, the creation of stuff like soy and everything else, it's just literally destroying us, because you know just well as I do, you cannot make money off a healthy population. You make money off a sick population, and it pays to keep people sick. There are certain things that must be taken care of in deliverance. Spiritual warfare, the same thing that Jesus told us to do. He commanded us to do. But then the Bible is very clear when he says you use the herbs of the field for the service of men. We need things that's going to actually service us and help keep us in optimum health and to keep us blessed. That's one reason why we have y'all here today. I've heard your presentation, and I've not only that, but I've signed up, and I've got plenty of oil sitting right here behind me right now, and they're depleted because every time somebody comes by the office and they see that I got some, everybody wants some, and you know, liberal Pastor Dowell, oh, bless you, here, have it. Hey, glory to the King, because why? It's more blessed to give than to receive. So we're here tonight, not only here with Brother Luke and Brother Leon, who we know very, very well. Both of them have been very instrumental in the ministry. They've been faithful, and they're just damn good brothers. That's all there is to it. Brother Leon, I remember a few years ago back at Gathering of the Saints, what we used to call GOTS, he gave an excellent presentation. It was packed. Well, Brother Leon, it was a few years later you came and you saw what happened at this past Passover. There was like almost 600 people, almost 700 people here at this particular feast. And I'm asking you right now, Brother Leon, before I go on anymore, if you have it in your schedule. I'm not going to ask you to commit right now because I know you're a very busy man with a very busy schedule. But if you have it in your schedule, would you be able to attend at least a few days here at the Feast of Tabernacles this year?
If I'm able to, sir, I will attend.
All right. And the reason being is because I want to be able to set aside at least a day or two or half a day to be able to educate the people, because people have to understand that there's a spiritual application when it comes to spiritual warfare, demonic warfare, and then there's a natural. And you have to, the Bible says, first that which is natural, then that which is spiritual, in the approach that we should be taking. So we're here now, and my question to the both of you is, y'all probably know more about my information than I do, because y'all know that your pastor's just been running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and that's just the truth. That's just the honest truth. How can we get people who are interested in having these essential oils and getting the good pure oils to sign up under Pastor Dowell's downline? How can we get them to be able to contact y'all and reach y'all? And all they have to do is just mention my name, and then y'all can take it from there. Where do we go from here? That's the step that we need to know next.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, David.
What I'm going to do is there's kind of two ways we can go about this, and I'll get some of Leon's input on this as well. The first thing is, if you know that you would like to get some of the oils and you're also interested in being a part of the business, I'm going to have you contact myself, because if we set this up correctly versus just a herd of people all come in and enroll with no structure, it doesn't benefit the ministry the way that it could. And so, just like we started off and said, there's a couple of different brothers that are already on, let's just call it your first line, and we're going to set up other people that are interested in running the business in a particular order. And if you're willing to do that, there's a couple different ways we can set that up. I could give you my email. I could give you my cell number to text me, and then we can handle that like on first day or second day of this next week. We can get that set up. However, if you are just wanting to get some of the product, what you can do without having an interest in the business is, and I'm going to give you a couple things here to write down if you've got your pens and papers. It's mydoterra.com/Charles Dowell Jr. All right, I'm going to say that a couple times here, and I'm also going to give you some information from me. And if you're interested in the business, you can send a text to me, and then I'll get back with you. And in that text, I want you to put your first and last name, and then you can put the word doTERRA and send it to this phone number I'm going to give you here in just a second. Just a text. You can send that anytime, and then first day, second day, we'll get back in touch with you. But here's Pastor Dowell's website, which is already set up, and if you're just interested in getting a little bit of the oils, and then Leon, he's going to give you some more details on what happens when you go in to do this, okay? There's two different kind of routes. If you're just interested in getting some of the oils, you're not interested in any way, shape, or form business-wise, mydoterra.com/Charles Dowell Jr., and I'm just going to spell all that out if you're writing it down or you're checking it. It's mydoterra.com/CHRLESDOWELLJR. That's it. So if you go on that, you click on that, you'll see it says you're on Pastor Dowell's website for doTERRA, and all you need to do is follow up there. It'll tell you to go ahead and purchase the oils, and you can make an order right there online. There's basically two ways. One is going to include you putting up your Social Security number because you're going to introduce the business to other people and therefore make a paycheck, and therefore they're going to send you a 1099 at the end of the year because you are an independent representative running a business to make money. If you're not doing that, you can just enroll and buy some of the oil. Now, I'm also going to talk about some of the different kits and a little bit about those kits. I'm not going to go into great detail on those kits. But before I go into the kits, Brother Leon, can you help me out here and tell anybody else the difference in what's the potential as far as enrolling just to get a couple oils, what your options are, and then I'll go back and talk about the kits.
Okay, when you say the options, you're talking about, what do you mean, the different kits?
Like retail versus wholesale versus having an account.
Yeah. So there's retail where you be paying 100%, which doesn't make any sense once you've gotten more than 3 different oils. Then there's the wholesale account, which means you get 20% off for 25% off for life, and that is if you get a kit. If you buy a kit, the enrollment is normally $35, but they roll that into the kit, and you get them at less than 25% off, either in wholesale or as a wellness advocate. And with the wholesale membership, you still have all the access, all the benefits that you get as a wellness advocate. The only thing as a wellness advocate, you can and you can receive compensation for helping other people become healthy. Whereas if you're only a wholesale member, they will not send you a check because the government wants to know that you're getting paid. And the only way they have that is if you have an EIN, an employee identification number, or a Social Security number. So it's totally up to you, and you can upgrade in the future. So if you say, hey, I just want to try the oils now and be confident like Pastor Dowell is, and then once you use the oils and you see it, then you can share it. And then once you say, yes, I want to become a wellness advocate, all you do is you contact doTERRA, you give them your number, and then they'd be able to send you compensation. So it's totally the way. There's 3 ways. Retail, 100%, and there's no discounts. Then there's a wholesale membership, which you get 25% off for life, and there's no annual fee for a wholesale membership. And then there's the wellness advocate. And that is the same price as a wholesale, but you have the option, but no, it's not mandatory for you to share the oils. You can still have the benefits without doing that. It's totally up to you. So I hope that answered the question what you were asking for, Brother Luke.
Can I interject something for you for a second?
For just a second. Go ahead.
Yes. Brother Luke, I mean, there's a lot of information that y'all putting out here right now. Do you have, or is there any way you're willing to put out, like maybe an email address, or either a phone number? I would suggest maybe an email address for those who are serious-minded in this, to be able to contact you so you can actually put together something like, like my information that you can end up utilizing these people, or they can email you, leave their phone number, and then at your convenience, you can get back to them. We want to try to do this in a way that's, that's right for those who are interested.
Yes, and I have no problem with that. I'm gonna go ahead and what I'll just do is put out my email address, and what I want you to do if you're sending me an email is give me your phone number and a best time to call, and just say that you're interested more in the business side of it. And I'm going to go back and talk about a couple different things because I have a little bit of an outline that I'm following, so I'm trying to cover all my bases here.
And don't forget to mention the name Pastor Dowell so that he'll know how you got to him.
Yes, and this is one of the things. If we do this correctly, and I don't want to get too technical here and off into the weeds because, Pastor, as you said, we're giving a lot of information. there's a ton more. There's a lot more information. This is where I'd like to do some, possibly some Patreon videos or something like that are just about oils. And Brother Leon and I have talked about a lot of other things that we do in the area of preparedness. This is one of the main reasons that I'm interested in the oils in the first place, is to be self-sufficient. And there are a lot of other things that tie in with the oils that can help some of the ministry and Israel in general become more self-sufficient. So I'd be very interested to do some of that, just to put out just information, as well as, having the Modern Essentials book, so you can look up this stuff yourself. And I didn't really finish that, but the basics of that book is you can just go and look up any word that has to do with anything going on in your body. If it's something that's a real thing, it's in the book, and you just look it up, and it'll give you oils that you can use right there. And it will say you can put it on topically, or you can take it in aromatically, or you can take it internally. And I do that all the time with little capsules. But anyway, I just want to touch on that, because you can be very technical at what I was saying earlier, or you can do just like I do, and I don't need to know all the details. I just use the oils, and they work, and I'm happy with that. But back to answer your question, sir. If people are interested in the business, what we need to do is set them up in an orderly fashion so it can benefit the business to the best. And also the people that are involved in wanting to run the business. And we can have a whole nother video just about how compensation works, but it's a very good compensation plan. I'll go ahead and give my email address for those who are wanting to be a part of the business. And that is LAKINDALL at yahoo.com. All right, I'm going to do that one more time. LAKINDALL at yahoo.com. And just put in the subject doTERRA or Pastor Dowell, put your phone number in there, a good time to get back in touch with you, and I will do that as quickly as I possibly can. So real quick, if we can do some more videos on Patreon about how to use the oils, we'll also talk about how to enroll people. It's very, very simple. How to place people. We can talk about the compensation package. For anybody that's interested, I can text you also some of these videos or email some of these videos back. If you have a health concern, we could even do videos where possibly people call in and ask about some of the main things, and Leon's been asked thousands of questions. I've been with him at shows where we're at a home and garden show, RV show, boat show type of an event, and people will walk by and they'll walk up, well, what does this do? And I've seen him answer some amazing things, and I've also seen people walk back up to him, because we've done a number of these shows, and they'll say, yeah, I saw you last time, and here's how much this has helped me. It's just remarkable. It's just really amazing. So I want to be able to give some of these benefits to Israel. So anyhow, let's see here. Go ahead.
Brother Luke, if you and Brother Leon can actually put together, I don't know if y'all have a Patreon account, but if not, if y'all can make some videos, we can definitely post them up to my Patreon account and continue to keep matter of fact, not only my Patreon account, I can actually use my YouTube account and get these videos out there as well.
Yeah. And probably, I need to talk to you probably aside from on this conversation, but I have some other ideas where you can get some overlapping concepts in addition to doTERRA that maybe benefit specifically to Israel or a congregation. So I'd like to talk to you about that at some other point in time. But
all right.
No, I just want to touch on a few real basic things and then throw it back to Leon, see if he has some other things. I want to also talk about the kits real quick. So just some things that I have seen. Do we see where people have skin issues, an issue on your skin, like eczema, athlete's foot, dandruff? There's all kinds of little infections and things that people get on their skin. This is amazing for that. I'm not going to go into all the details of what oils and stuff. Do we see stomach issues like irritable bowel syndrome and digestive issues and there's so many different things that can affect people. And yes, you are 100% in what you said earlier. You don't want to be trying to use an oil when you know you're tearing yourself up by having a horrible diet on purpose. I love how you say that. That's called being stupid on purpose. pain issues like getting hurt, getting burned. A kid gets hit in the head playing ball or something like that, or an adult gets hit in the head playing with ball, or you smash your hand, with a hammer, something like this. Yes. And there are a lot of oils that are going to address these specific issues. Do we see breathing issues, like where people get a cold or upper respiratory infection or asthma or allergies? Yes, and the oils can really help with that. And then one last one that I kind of wanted to cover, I think, is a really important thing. We live in a toxic environment, and Pastor, you had already brought this up, so I want to kind of come back to this. Do we see issues where we need to detoxify our bodies from all the toxins that are in our environment? And I believe the answer is absolutely yes. You could, if you don't know any better, put on aluminum in your underarms for antiperspirant, right, in your deodorant. We use fluoride in our toothpaste and Colgate and Crest, things like this. And you breathe fumes from vehicles. We get motor oil and cleaning chemicals on our hands, and it goes straight through our skin and into our body. And your body can actually encapsulate it with adipose tissue, meaning fat. And we get sick from it if your body doesn't protect yourself from it by encapsulating these toxins and fat. But we also constantly eat harmful chemicals and other things that are in preservatives and ingredients in our foods. So, just for example, if you're changing the oil or you're getting gas at a gas pump and you get oil onto your hand, that goes into your bloodstream and can damage your body and build up toxins in your body. Mechanics are a great example of this.
Within 6 seconds.
Things that very, very quickly, yes, and it can build up. But the thing I wanted to explain is at some of these classes that I've been to, one of the things that doTERRA's folks will do is they'll take a bottle of essential oil, lemon, and they'll hold out some petrochemicals that we commonly put in our face all the time, which is a styrofoam cup. And if you put a drop of that essential oil on that styrofoam cup, it will literally eat right through that cup. Now, the oil does the exact same thing in your body with these petrochemicals that we have from different various sources. It will cut through those petrochemicals and help your body to do its natural process of eliminating that out of your system. And there's numerous oils, there's numerous different ways to detoxify. Like he was talking about the oils that can remove the heavy metals. So there's a lot of different things like this that we can bring up in specifics in some of these other videos to help people just for detoxification. So anyhow, that's one of the points that I wanted to bring up. I'd learned that and seen that in several different situations. It's the same of the rubbers and the compounds and stuff that are in a balloon. If you put that oil of lemon, and most of the citrus oils are known for cleaning. Like if you clean your hands in a garage, there's probably an oil. It's not a highly concentrated oil like the orange, but you'll see these orange cleaners and things like this that are used by companies. But those are a very cheap, diluted version of what these essential oils can do. So anyway, back to getting started. I want to talk just real briefly about the kit. The kit that Pastor Dowell enrolled with, and you can write this down, I'll give you the number for it as well, is called the Natural Solutions Kit. And that kit has a lot of different things in that kit. And if you look it up online, if you go to Pastor Dowell's website like I've given out before, it has a lot of things in that kit. It gives you a wide variety of things. It has a diffuser in there. Most of the oils that we're talking about are in that kit. But that kit also costs $550. Okay, that's an investment. And here's the thing with that. You're probably going to buy toothpaste anyway. You're probably going to buy some laundry detergent anyway. But this toothpaste has that cinnamon that we were talking about in it, and it'll help kill garbage that's in your system. Besides that, it's going to benefit the ministry. You see what I'm saying? And there's a kit that's a little bit lower than that. It's called the Home Essentials Kit, and that kit's $275. Okay, and that's probably the bottom kit that I'd recommend. There's numerous kits. I'm not going to go over them all. And let's say that you have the budget and you have the time to use some more of this stuff. There's a bigger kit. It's called the Diamond Kit. And I believe that kit is, I had it right here on a sheet of paper. I believe it's $27 $100. Is that correct, Brother Leon? Can you tell me what that one is? The diamond kit?
Yes, I believe it's $27.50, and that has everything.
There it is. I have it written down.
It has what?
Yes.
It has everything doTERRA has. Every one of the oils, everything. All the ladies' items and the stuff for being anti-cancerable. So there's many benefits from that kit. It's really for the people who want to do it as a business, so they can actually show every one of their potential clients what they have. But I got the Natural Solutions kit because I wanted the most I could afford at the time. And we always tell people, get the most you can afford without going in debt. We don't believe in debt and using credit cards, so get the biggest one you can afford to get that meets your needs. And you can always get one kit, the Natural Solutions kit, and add on something. Say you have a disease called Raynaud's, and that's Raynaud's disease is poor circulation to the fingertips and toes. And so this simple oil called cypress oil, it's from a tree, increases the circulation drastically. So you can always add individual oils onto those kits after or during your first order as well. So get whatever kit works best for you, and it will bless you in ministry.
Right, and if you have a question about the kits, you can go online and look at those. If you have questions about the oils, you can go online and look at those on doTERRA's website. You can look through all the single oils. You can look at their proprietary blends. You can look at all the different On Guard products, the Breathe products, Deep Blue products, the digestive products. And then last but not least, I want to talk about one more thing that I've used myself, and it's called the Lifelong Vitality Pack. So Pastor just mentioned earlier, a lot of us don't get to eat like what he does and have the benefit of a organic garden and all the nutrients that have been lost out of our soils. So a lot of us already try to supplement with a multivitamin that's usually not that great. And there's a lot of different companies out there that have multivitamins, but the Lifelong Vitality Pack is a lot of different nutrients in 3 different formulas. Some of them are more vitamins, and some of them are more nutrients, and some of them are more of the essential oils. And what that pack has, this little cardboard box that it comes in that has these 3 bottles in it, has on the outside of the box a statement that I don't see most companies making. It says, if you try this product and use all of the vitamins that are out of these for 30 days and you don't feel better, you can return the empty box and they will refund the money to you. And that's not really even the point that I wanted to make. The point that I wanted to make is if you're using some vitamins anyway and you would like to try this, it's going to benefit the ministry. It's going to benefit the ministry and it's going to benefit you. So I think it's a huge benefit. And again, if you're interested business-wise, contact me on another day and through my email. And if you know you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. Just go to, I'll give it one more time here, mydoterra.com/Charles Dowell Jr. mydoterra.com/CHRLESDOWELL Jr.
Bro Leon?
Yes, sir.
You have anything else to add here?
What I like to say is that you can make a huge impact in your family's health. And many people say, well, how much do these bottles cost? Well, the average bottle costs between $20 and $30, and the large size bottles, which are 15 milliliters, they have 250 drops. So it's typically anywhere from 3 to 10 cents a drop for any of the oils that you'll be taking naturally. Now, when you were talking about emotional benefits, Balance was used along with frankincense and lavender when I was working with PTSD and veterans, because we lose 22 veterans a day here in America and 1 active duty because of suicide. So the oils have emotional benefits as well. So if you're dealing with those kind of issues, whether it's post-Katrina or any kind of military combat issues, the oils have emotional applications, physical applications, and spiritual applications. That's why frankincense and myrrh has been used for thousands of years spiritually, because it actually allows you to tune in your mind to the Lord. And so the oils have so many benefits, and they don't have side effects. They don't expire. They found oils in King Tut's tomb back in 1922. Howard Carter found 160 liters of frankincense, sandalwood, and myrrh, and it was still medically viable 3,500 plus years later.
Wow.
Because it was cool, dark. So as long as you keep them dry, you can bury them with your cache of medical supplies, and if you want to put ammo in there and other things, you can stash those all over the planet and bury them underground, and they will last indefinitely. So your great-great-grandchildren can benefit, assuming the Lord doesn't come back anytime soon. They can still benefit from years down the road. So there are so many benefits, and when you contact Luke, I will also send you my information as well, and we can do private consulting and answer your questions and across the board. And plus, if you go to YouTube, doTERRA has a private channel that you can just go to doTERRA channel and learn a lot about the oils, about the compensation, how they're sourced, what makes them so pure. And so all of that information is available for free to anyone on the YouTube platform. And I look forward to working with everybody and blessing as many people in the ministry as possible.
All right. Well, hallelujah. I tell you what, man, it's been some kind of night here tonight, and we may, if y'all up to it, if y'all want to do this, either Luke or y'all, how about we schedule broadcasts like maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks, to where we can actually take phone calls and maybe answer some of the questions that people may have in reference to what y'all suggest, what oils could be possibly be a benefit to them in some of the conditions that they may have. What do y'all say about that?
I'd be very open to that. And we can also keep them recorded so then people can access them if they're working at this time. So yes, I think that'd be a great idea to be able to benefit the ministry and educate as many people as possible.
All right. So, one thing, well, definitely for sure we can get a lot of this word out is if y'all can make some of these videos, and then I can put them on many different platforms, and then all the YouTube channels that we have associated with the ministry, we can actually put them out there as well to help get this word out, to help get this thing going. What says y'all? Is that okay?
We'll work on that.
All right then. Believe me, I understand. I meant to get to y'all a whole lot sooner. I really, truly did. Y'all know my heart, Brother Luke. That's why at times I communicate on Sons of Jacob, and I communicate, by way of video and stuff. Last night, I'm going to tell you how tired that Pastor Dowell was. Last night, I actually got 11 hours of sleep. I have not slept 11 hours in over 30 years.
Outstanding. I hope you're very refreshed.
Well, I'll tell you, I hope especially the brothers on Sons of Jacob understand personally as a joke. I was going to say earlier, all right, if you want to have anything to do with doTERRA, here's Pastor Dowell's cell number, just a joke, because I've heard about it from, basically that one cell phone, it just goes off constantly, and you've got so much going on, and you're talking to so many people, you have absolutely got to delegate this stuff. So just to be clear, nobody be sending any kind of information or request or email or phone call about this to Pastor. It needs to come to myself or to Brother Leon, and we'll get some more modes of delivering information in the future as well.
Man, we're live here. Man, Brother Shane, I'm about to get you to come down into the house for a second, because I don't know what in the world has done happened. The screen just blinked and I lost my switchboard. I've literally lost my switchboard. I'm so glad y'all still on though, but my switchboard is literally gone. All right, maybe.
Well, there's one last thing here I wanted to mention. The volume of oils that I use, and I never would have thought this starting off, is pretty high. I use the oils on a regular basis, and I've had some situations where, like, a dog got torn into, or I got my hand cut really bad from a dog bite, and I just end up using quite a bit of oils. Or if you start to get, you're around something where you start to feel sick, you can use quite a bit of the oil. So one of the things you'll see as you learn about them is you use them quite a bit instead of other things. Just like I was saying, it's a benefit to the ministry instead of just buying it from Procter & Gamble. There's a lot of different products here I'm not going over that doTERRA uses, and they're very high quality. But once you get a kit and you start to use this stuff, one of the things I do with it is use it, and the other thing I do is share it. I just give oils to some folks, but the way that you can continue to purchase oils is called there's a lot of details in here, but it's called their Loyalty Rewards Program, okay, or LRP. And that is an auto ship program, and you can change it every month from this oils to some of the Lifelong Vitality Pack nutrients or whatever you want to put in there. You don't need any laundry soap or whatever it might be, okay? But the point is, every single month if you're buying those things, that can still benefit the ministry and the other brothers who are wanting to set up some level of business. And that's how I buy stuff every month. I have a little bit come to me. And that is something that I always commit $100 a month. If you do a little bit more than that, they even put in a free oil of the month. And that would be at a 125 LRP or loyalty rewards point. So I just wanted to touch base and let you know that. The other thing, why it's called a loyalty rewards point, is that you also earn free oils. Okay, so if you buy a little bit, they give you a discount on that, and that discount increases the longer that you have that loyalty rewards order. So I just wanted to end with saying that, and we can talk more about that on another video of how that works. So I know, Pastor, you had mentioned that you're about out, and you can go on to your site there, and I can walk you through it another time if you'd like. And basically, you just set up a loyalty rewards of any amount, and to receive paychecks, though, to be running the business, that needs to be $100 a month. And I'm just telling you, though, you're going to end up using the oils, like you said. And you even said you give some away when people come to the house. So
yeah,
it's just a real blessing to be able to do that.
I'm literally about. As a matter of fact, that's just the way I am. It's my nature. I'm literally about out. That's why I'm planning on. I've got to get back in there and replenish. I still have some. But I am definitely running low. That's for sure. I don't understand. If y'all are hearing me down there in that dining hall, get Brother Shane down there, see if we can pull up this switchboard, because the computer just damn blinked and my switchboard is gone. The only blessing I've got is that I'm still connected with Brother Leon and Brother Luke right now. All right. So, hey, if you don't mind, Brother Luke, could you, the information that you put out as far as contacting me, my doTERRA, .CharlesDowell or PastorDowell.me, whatever it is, email it to me. Yes. So I can actually start including it on my videos and putting a link into it in the description block.
Yeah, and I'll say it one more time just in case somebody in the chat room. Actually, we're going to put it in the chat room as well for those people that are watching on YouTube Live. It's in the chat room. But I'll just go ahead and say it one more time. It's mydoterra.com /Charles Dowell Jr. I already spelled it, so hopefully everybody will be able to figure out how to spell it. So I will email that to you shortly.
All right. Well, it's been an honor.
Yes, sir. Well, it's been an absolute blessing to be on here with you.
Glory to the King, Brother Leon. You keep doing what you're doing, my brother, and keep me lifted up in prayer, because I need it.
Yes, sir. And thank you very much for the honor to serve with you this evening. And I look forward to continuing educating people in the ministry. And since you have such a base of wisdom and people who listen to you, you'll be able to make an impact in the world much further.
Well, hallelujah. All right. Bro, Shane, I don't know. This thing just blinked. It's gone. All right, Brother Luke. All right, Brother Leon, I'm going to let y'all go this evening right here, and we're going to let Brother Shane tweak around on this thing for a second. It's gone. They don't even offer restore. All right, bless y'all. And we're going to continue on the broadcast here just for a moment, all right?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Blessings.
Shalom. Almost Shabbat shalom.